me. Okay, so we're just heading off. We thought it was going to be clearing. The sun actually did come up for briefly, but it's clouded over again. There is still some specks of, small specks of blue, but it's still overcast and gray, as you can see behind me. So we're hoping that it doesn't rain. We've got some paddling to do. We've got some creek travel, some unknown areas to travel, and some portages. So let's see what the day holds for us. See, there's a sandbank right there, but it's most of it's covered. So it's,
we walk this here.
yeah,
The water levels are really low.
yeah. Well, it should be easier for us to get out. So we're just paddling out of the lake, and I remember this spot. It's just a marshy area. It's shallow and just barely enough water to get through. This year it's a little bit better because the water levels are up. But if you look over there, now again, I don't know, the lighting might not be the greatest. Let me see if I can turn over this way. Might be better. It's not as visible on this side, but even though the lighting is better, but you might see it right beyond Anita. All the trees are cut at a certain height. It's probably about like 3 feet high, and they're all cut at that height. And this side, because it's dark out, you probably won't be able to see. But again, you'll see all the stumps, but they're cut about 3 feet high. And I noticed that on an island yesterday, when we were on the island, there was some big stumps. And again, they were just spaced along the shoreline, but they're all cut at a certain height. And it's quite possible it was during the logging era, and I know that they did a lot of the logging in the winter time, and maybe because it was the depth of snow, that was the level that they could cut at, and then they cut it down, put it onto the lake, and then when it thawed, they drove it down the lakes and down the rivers. So if that's the reason, it could possibly be. I don't understand why else it would be so evenly cut, but it's quite interesting. So we're just about to enter the creek now, and this is kind of interesting. When we came up here the first time last year, there's a dam that we're approaching, and normally it's because of beavers. But this one was done purposely by, for some reason unknown, it's done by sandbags. So I'll show you here. It's quite interesting. We'll see if we can paddle down it, but it has been broken down a bit, but I'll show you here. Sorry, but the audio was missing from this clip, so I'll try and relay what I was saying. So this is the small sandbag dam. It has obviously been here a long time, as you can see the vegetation growing on top of the bags, much like it would be on a beaver dam. In fact, this old dam is also marked on the topo map. I'm sure it was to keep the water levels up on Shakwa Lake and the waterways behind it. This was just interesting and peculiar, as I've never seen a dam made in this manner out in the bush, but makes sense, as it is simple and easy to construct. As you can hear, dams are always better on the upstream side when canoeing. We were now heading down Rushbrook Creek. Someone obviously built this. This wasn't here last year. That's a good sized drop. I was wondering why it was so deep, because I don't recall it being that deep last year. Alright. The era of dry feet might be over. Somebody was busy here, that's for sure. As we paddled down the creek, we noticed these pretty little flowers coming up from the water. Here's a better view. They were obviously aquatic vegetation. And here's what they look like underwater. We found out later they are called fanwort, and unfortunately are an invasive species that clog shallow waterways, crowd out native plants, and disrupt fish habitat, despite how pretty they look. Just doing a portage around the shallow part of the creek. You can see someone had left a ribbon. It's a little rough trail. You know, I don't recall us doing the portage when we came through here the first time. I think we pretty much dragged the canoe up stream, but it looked pretty shallow, especially because of the beaver dam now. So we decided we're just gonna walk it this time. So you can hear the paddles clacking from Anita from ahead. Someone put their initials here. There we go. You know, stuff like this kind of pissed me off. They're killing the tree. You can see all the sap running off, but look how deep it is. It's literally almost an inch deep into the tree. DH. Well, DH, thank you for making the tree's life miserable. Hopefully the tree survives from this. Anyhow. Is that it? That's it? And we didn't... What's that? Well, that wasn't very long. I almost wish we just dragged it. Yeah. That's why we didn't portage last time, because we just dragged up the creek. And here we are, right at the end. And we just portaged right from there to here. I would have just dragged it. I thought it was a lot longer, but oh well. So I'll just drop my bag and go get the canoe. Okay, I was going to try to show you the blackflies. I don't know if you can see it. You see them all here. Look at them all. You can see them fly around across the screen. But there's see? There's a dragonfly going nuts here. Look at them all. I don't know if you can capture them. But yeah, they're all here. He's looking for the portage. While I'm doing that, I'm staying here with Teddy. And they're just like, remember I was talking about the clouds of blackflies? Sometimes when there's this many blackflies, we try to play a little game and try to smack the air and to see how many blackflies we can kill at one shot. So if you look at my hands here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 on one hand, 1 on the other hand. So yep, there are a lot of blackflies here. And they're not getting any less. There's more than... This is crazy. We certainly could have used a bug shirt. But obviously I'm not going to kill them all. But it was just, while I'm waiting, I thought I'd have a little bit of fun and kill a bunch of them. But they seem to be multiplying by the numbers. So, hopeless, but a little bit of pleasure. Guilty pleasure. So This is an official portage. We're just forging our way through the forest. It's open enough that we can just bypass all the shallow stuff. It was just too shallow and rocky to drag, and it was too long. So I figured, see, it's pretty open. We'll just portage around it and get the canoe into paddleable water. I don't think so.
No, because I went first originally through there.
Yeah.
I said that same cross, and then I noticed a blow yarn.
Okay. So we're hoping to get these blackflies blown away by the little breeze that's out here, but it's not really working. They kind of move away and then they come back and attack us. But anyhow, while we're doing this, floating down this bigger body of water, I'm going to point up to the sky here. And there is a light blue streak in the cloud right there, as you can see. And me and Anita were discussing this because she thought it was white clouds. It's just blue because it's reflecting off the water or the sky, or I don't know. The sky?
It's a very thin cloud.
Okay, but I just don't believe it because the rest of the clouds are very white. So if you
Can you take a picture and we'll show that?
well, I'm videoing it, right? But you can see there's a distinct light blue all right in that band, and then you can see all the white clouds around it, right? That's so unusual. I don't know what it is, if it's maybe a pollution or something, I don't know, but we're just having discussion. If some of you guys know, comment below and let us know, because I've seen colored clouds, I've even taken pictures of it. I just don't know the science behind it or the reason behind it, but this one is distinct. You can definitely see it.
Your feet better be wet.
Dam. Okay, so we're in a vast marsh right now, And I thought this is where we would turn, but we got to go down a little bit more, and then we're going to split off and go through again another marsh, but a creek, and through a chain of small ponds or lakes until we get to Happy Little Cheese Bun Lake. Or is it Little Cheese? Happy Little Cheese Bun Lake. So right now I'll show you, we're just in this vast marsh. There's no place to land. It's okay. We're just having a floating snack. Guys, I'll show you here. This is what it looks like. So as you can imagine, there's no real place to land. So we're going to continue down that way and make our way to another big opening in the marsh, and then we're going to split over that way over to look for this small body of water. So thankfully the blackflies are not as bad here, but we're still getting the odd bites, and they're still flying around, as you can probably see, but nothing like before. There was like a huge cloud, like, I mean, almost worse than sometimes where I've seen it in the spring. So I don't know, these bugs are confused, or it's the weather or something, but this is like the worst I've ever seen it at this time of year. And usually you don't see blackflies at this time of year, so I have no explanation for this. But it's certainly, whether it's the weather or whether it's conditions, I have no idea. But something is obviously not right. Anita is blaming my uncle, the dictator of North Korea. She's having everyone at work believe that he's apparently my uncle. A lot of my friends think I'm a North Korean spy. So
the blackflies are your problem. You guys started.
I'm just looking for a nuclear missile installation here in Canada, out in the bush.
That's why you brought in lots of blackflies to keep people away.
See, this is what happens when you take people on crazy trips. Then they call you all kinds of weird names and associate you with weird people. I don't know. But for now, I am eating a delicious Cliff Bar right now. White chocolate macadamia nut. I'm losing it. White chocolate macadamia nut. And it's actually really good. Wow, that one echoed. I had to clean my nose out because there was a black fly in there. Man. Anyhow, this one is good. So if I know a lot of people are Cliff Barred out. I guess Cliff Bars are all over the place. They're synonymous with trips. But if you want a good one, this one is certainly one to get. And you think we're getting hammered by black flies. Poor Teddy. Look at his eye. He's all bleeding right there. Poor guy. They nail him in his nose, his mouth. See all his guts. Anita kills him vigorously, but he still gets nailed. Poor guy. Ready, hold on. Here you go. Hold on. Ready? There you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Despite the shallow waterway, it was gorgeous with all the vegetation, so I sent up the drone briefly to get a unique perspective of the area we were paddling through. What was crazy was trying to land the drone on our pack safely. This was a first, and thankfully it worked out okay. No, the prop was fine. Okay, so right now we're in the middle of a vast marsh. You can see around me. Now that channel down there weaves its way down, and that eventually becomes Rushbrook Lake, and that's the lake where we started from. But if you look over this way, this marsh continues down that way, and it starts to weave its way to the right, and that will eventually hit a small body of water, which hopefully will lend its way over to happy Little Cheese Bun Lake. It should be okay. The portages are fairly short, like 200-300 meters to each body of water. I think there's about 2 or 3 of them before we get to Happy Cheese Bun Lake. Now we know that there are some portages closer to Cheese Bun Lake, so the only one that's really unknown is the first one, and we're gonna find out why no one has gone this way. It could be difficult, it could be easy, I don't know. But I know Anita's looking forward to it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You want to go to Happy Cheese Bun Lake?
Yeah, I want to go happy.
So, wish us luck. This will be the fun part, or maybe not. Go left.
Let me go here and go right into the water.
Okay.
We're gonna pass it over.
Yeah. So this part of the paddle is a little more challenging. There's big mats of bog and just organic material, so you don't want to get run up on it because then you get stuck. So we're just trying to find the deepest channel to get through until we can find the creek. Why? Looks like there's water over there. Doesn't look too bad yet. There's these big floating bog mats that are just lumps of organic material that you don't want to get hung up on. The creek's getting narrower and narrower, and there's a beaver dam, which is good. I don't know if the water flows this way or not, but it's getting, we're definitely out of the wide part. And hopefully it continues to the body of water, otherwise we may have a little bit of a smog. I'll show you. So there's still some water, but as I mentioned, it's just getting tighter and narrower. Like you can see the tree line, it gets higher further up, so you know that there is a low spot in the land, and it curves around. So hopefully there's still enough water for us to paddle. Well, it's flowing down, so it's coming obviously from somewhere. The only thing that sucks is we're going upstream. we go, ready? Did we take the wrong channel in?
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Alright, 1, 2. Okay, hold on. You ready? Even all right. We ran out? Can't be. There's gotta be water. There's water coming somewhere. So we've gone probably about 200 meters. It looked like it was going to open up and the creek got wider, but now it's pretty much narrowed down to pretty much nothing, just marshy, wet ground. So we've got about 240 meters more to go. So we're just gonna, I think at this point we're just gonna have to line it. The one thing I just noticed on this GPS was that we are going up a contour line, so that means we're going uphill. So the water is coming down, except there'll probably be a section we might have to portage up into the pond of the lake. So yay! Teddy's getting the mask. I almost got swallowed by the bog. There still is a deep channel, so if you step in the wrong spot, you go down. So we're trying to stay on either side. Anita said she wants to record it, she wants to see me go down.
I missed you going down.
Does it look like anything there?
Where's your GPS? Can you take a look at how far we're from the pond?
Well, probably 200 meters.
Can you look what's up ahead?
Does it look like there's a channel there?
There is kind of, but then there's a bunch of blowdown.
I think it's better that way.
That way?
Yeah.
Okay. Which way? You gonna go through here? Just take a look.
Yeah, that's the blowdown. But we can probably squeeze in through here.
Okay. Hello, Penny. Hi, how are you? What happened to you?
Mommy's subjecting me to torture. Bad decision. So it is not a really feasible way. It's actually, it is such a tangled mess. No, I won't. No. Are you happy?
No.
She's not happy.